On the road, surrounded, astronomical odds against you. Some conversation was had, but eventually a fight broke out. Alar separated himself from the party, and the rest either succumbed to combat, were knocked out, or surrendered willingly. Some time went by. Alar found himself alone on the road. The rest of the party unaccounted for from his perspective, having lost Silvercloak's men in the woods. But eventually, Nibbles finds him, and he makes his way through the endless woods to Silvercloak's camp, where he is hiding all alone by some tree roots somewhere nearby. The rest of the party ended up in Silvercloak's camp. Those that were knocked unconscious regained consciousness, neither bound nor blindfold nor guarded, and your gear nearby. Nobody stopped you from taking your stuff and putting it back on. And Samuel grabbed the wagon and tried to leave the camp, discovering the nature of the endless woods, ending up back at the camp, despite being thoroughly convinced he was going in a straight line. Larrick had joined the majority of the men for dinner, having beef stew. And now I have a question for the rest of you, since Alaric, Lizar are sitting, on the tables in the center of the main camp area. Let me go open. Actually, do I have? No, that's too far back. I think it'd be faster just to reopen the original. I don't
I
think I
ask a
saved it.
question how the hell I was captured when I fly?
Um, you were knocked out by archers. To simplify things, since you flew towards them anyway, and they would have just retargeted on you. Yeah, you wouldn't have survived. There were 12 of them.
I see. So
Yeah,
you had to
and
be
they were using
invisible and
blunts.
you were screwed.
Yeah,
Got it.
even Connie, while invisible, still gave her position away. The only reason Alar managed to break off was he flew up after becoming invisible. So his position was a lot harder to pinpoint, though they did take a shot. Actually, they did do some damage to you. I think one or two of them hit you.
No,
No? Okay.
no.
But either way, yeah, with you not being present and you not having any sort of source of invisibility, it was just easier to you were knocked out and moved with the party. That way, there's no confusion.
I see.
Would you
As
lie
I'm not
down like a
re-narrating.
dog like the rest of these cowards?
Sorry, is
Oh yeah, that
Samuel
is
dead
true.
or
Would you have surrendered or would you have fought once you seen Samuel go down?
I don't couldn't give a shit about Samuel.
Okay.
Did Samuel die?
No, he was.
No,
Everybody
no,
was. Nobody was
no,
killed.
no.
Everybody was knocked
Oh,
unconscious. Nobody has died.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rasta could care less about that guy. Everybody else, yeah, it'd be a different story.
Yeah. So this is just a rough approximation of the camp layout. The buildings are not exact, save for the large central structure and then the two larger buildings around it. Otherwise, it's just I filled in assets so that it looked full and you know. But the camp, as Alar has explored, and the rest of the party, you've been conscious and awake for long enough. You've seen a rough idea that it looks like it has between 200 and 300. Like space for 200 to 300 capable fighters, and then the rest of the camp looks like there's a total of between 500 and 600 people of adolescents, children, families, elderly. So now, like I said, Alaric, you're pretty much accounted for being in the central table area with Lizar and Nibbles. So, Rast, I'm asking you, when you awoke and were offered dinner, would you have stayed and had dinner, or would you have hopped on the carriage with, or the wagon with Samuel and Connie and tried to leave?
Um, Depends how many people were around me.
What do you mean? You're not
As in,
under guard. Nobody. You're
oh,
you're you're sitting at a table with your shit next to you. Like you woke up not blindfolded, not handcuffed, not tied up or anything like that, and next to you there was a tarp with the party's gear on it. Like you were stripped of, your arm, like your weapons, but they're all still there. Like nothing was taken.
hmm.
It was just
No, I
removed from you
think
for transport.
I see. No, I think I'd stay.
Okay, so you join Alaric for dinner. Samuel, you and Connie left and came back. Are you going to join at the tables, or are you just going to sulk on the carriage or the
I'm just
wagon?
gonna sulk in the carriage. This is
All right.
yeah.
And then Alar, are you doing anything else besides waiting?
Um, after the recon, probably just moving through the woods towards the east side of the camp, trying to remain undetected.
Well, you don't have any cardinal directions.
On the map, I'm on your map, right?
Okay.
I'm assuming
Gotcha.
the top of the image is north. I'm designating that as map north,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
I'm
So
trying
you're
to
going to the
without.
east
Yeah, I'm going to
side.
the right side of the map, the east side of the map. And then waiting for this play to start. 'Cause it looks like it's attracting most of the people in the camp to it, yes?
Yeah. There's looks like dinner has mostly finished, and there are looks like trays of mugs. They all look to be steaming of some sort, and trays of what look like caramel apples, some covered with nuts, some not. But it does look like everybody, for the most part, is migrating towards that center. So I'm assuming what you mean by your position is you want to be opposite the stage.
Where is the stage?
That long rectangular bit of what looks like deck or wooding in the center, that's on the western-ish side of the clearing in the center.
Okay. So you
It's
kind of
that dark gray bit, dark brown bit.
yeah. So you've got these 6 like outlying camp things around the central clearing.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
on the right side of the map, the east side, there's that bit of forest between the two. That's kind of the general area I'm looking to be in.
Okay. Do you want to get close to those two larger structures? They do look to be reasonably sized. Like you'd guess they're probably warehouses based on the fact that they're tall and don't have windows and big
Well, I
doors on both
believe
ends.
last time I had sent Hero into it to look, and they were like granaries or something. Yes.
Yes, yeah, to look to be storage.
Yeah. So yeah, that is what I'm trying to do.
Okie dokie.
Gonna just let the play serve as a distraction to let me get in there.
Sure, a distraction. All right. Well, as for the rest of you, my dog is demanding the outside. But one moment, please.
Damn it, I'm dead.
Okay. Good to know. Hey, thank you for letting us know. All right. So the central clearing is still active, though it looks like, most of the people have kind of come from all those outer areas. The, you know, work of the day ended, talk of the play. and around the outer ring of it, and some post to post in the center where the light from the fires isn't quite bright. There's lanterns being lit to kind of give the space a nice even warm glow. But the fire pits are stoked, and so the light gets a little dimmer, and space becomes somewhat cozy. The smell of caramels coming up the air from the apples. Adolescents, teenage boys and girls move through the clearing, carrying trays of caramel apples, offering them, and people are taking them. Some are, cutting them up and giving them to the kids. Looks like there's a decent cluster of kids piling up towards the front by the stage, sitting on blankets and getting ready for the play. And then the mugs, it looks like it is some sort of cream coffee dessert or apple cider.
Ooh, definitely going for the cider.
I hate you so much right now.
You want cider now? Like
Yes.
good apple cider, cinnamon boiled right in. Nom, 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 nom.
Mhm. All the spices.
But from where you
I
guys are
learned a
sitting, you're
valuable
kind of
lesson not to get the cider that has more spices in it. That's too spicy. Anyway,
and they do distinguish dwarven cider from regular cider. There is some cider that seems a bit pungent.
just regular cider from me.
They do like their spices. But you guys are sitting sort of on the southern side of the clearing, kind of where you woke up. Tables are nearby there, and you can see Silvercloak is sitting sort of the north side, not elevated, just at a table with a bunch of people talking. His cloak is folded over the back. He's got a tin cup in his hand and a plate with an apple cut up on it.
It's always an apple.
Well, it's a caramel apple.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
around
just
you,
kind of
people are
chat
talking.
with the group of people I've been chatting with, since I woke up. Actually, not since I woke up, because I never fell asleep. Since I got unbagged.
Yeah. Yeah, the conversation at the table sounds like they're discussing the play, and you vaguely remember it, but it's been so long since you've seen it. One man's arguing that King Casso was justified, and another woman says that pride never starts justified. Just rising conversation around you in varying degrees. Drum near the stage sounds like they're testing it. But you see Silvercloak, he finishes his cup or his drink. He sets the cup on the table and gets up, says something to the man next to him. The man laughs through his nose. And he grabs his cup and starts wandering over. But as he's turning, Tiefling at his table reaches over and tries to grab his apple, and Silvercloak, without looking, reaches back and just slides the plate to the edge of the table. Tiefling grins sheepishly and shakes his head. But the sugar shell of caramel apples cracks throughout the camp. Cream coffee steams in tin cups. Children cradle their cider and lean against one another near the front while the stage waits. In the backdrop, a painted river across with two keeps on either side. Dozens of pine trees set up in front of it. And Silvercloak gets up and he walks over to you, Samuel. He rests a hand on the wagon sideboard and looks up at you. And he looks back across the clearing and looks back at you. If you still believe I wronged you, you're welcome to keep believing it. Just don't miss the play over it. That's one of my favorites.
I will see you hanged, and this entire village burned to the ground, and everyone here put to the sword. Every man, woman, and child. On this, I swear.
Oh. You'll sour the cider if you glare at it long enough. Come down, or don't. You're not a prisoner. And he looks back across the clearing at the stage and the children, and then back at you. Morning comes the same either way.
Funny saying I'm not a prisoner yet trapped me in an enchanted forest. Yeah. Real smooth.
Are you bound?
But I am unable to leave.
Because you're my guest.
Polite word for prisoner. Just because you soften the chains don't mean they're not there.
Or perhaps you're a prisoner of your own thought.
If I wouldn't have met you, I would still be on the road, on the way to town. You changed the course of my life, made me come with you, had your men attack me. Where in that did you grant me mercy? Where in that did you grant me freedom? Huh? I am a prisoner here, and I will
And
see
he
you
looks
all
over at your party.
dead.
Do your friends look like prisoners?
My friends are morons.
Well, then it's just a matter of perspective. But you're welcome to join us. The cider is warm. And he taps his knuckles on the carriage or the wagon and walks back towards the camp or the center. And he makes his way over to the side and fills his mug from what looks like a big barrel. And he grabs a nearby chair and comes over to your guys' table, Eric Rast, and
Big
slides it
barrel
down.
of wine, of
Uh,
ale.
No, it looks like cider. Like it looks like it's warm and steaming, but it's not dark like the coffee. You can see the color.
I was
is like
asking if it was
orangish brown.
flammable. I wasn't asking if it was warm and steamy and hot and juicy. I don't give a fuck about that. I was asking if it was flammable because I was gonna blow it up.
I mean, doesn't look like it.
That's why
You're
I
welcome
was
to
asking.
attack him if you want.
Well, I can't attack them because I'll just be instantly killed, and that's just dumb for me to just sit there. I'm in a fucking. Oh, I'm so mad.
But anyway, he sits down at the table with you guys and sort of positions his chair so that he's facing you guys and the stage at the same time. And one of the younger people at the table throws a silver piece at him and it slides across the table and bumps into an arm. Yes, I still owe you. I know. And he looks over at you, Alaric. For the record, I bet on lightning.
Ah.
A voice behind him. You said maybe lightning. He takes a sip. I said lightning. But he sits with you.
I'll make some small talk with him. Just the usual fare.
Yeah. And he'd ask if you've been on the Copper long, it's your first time through the Badlands. What do you spend your days doing? Stuff like that.
Controversial as raw eggs, there are
Long days of staring at trees and making, keeping an eye out for ne'er-do-wells. Occasionally dealing with giant chickens.
Oh, the Dudos. Yeah, they're extinct. Fun stories about them, though.
No, they're
Mm.
not. Well, I mean, maybe they are now, but at least they weren't.
You've encountered a Dudo.
A whole bunch of them.
Oh, very curious.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. They taste nice, though.
I'd always imagined they were tough, being such a large poultry.
I mean, maybe it was a little tough compared to, regular chicken, but I mean, made for a fine dinner.
And, he turns his attention to you, Rast, and says, you were ready to have one stand for all of you. Best against best.
That is. It was a move to. I trusted my party to do the deed, and quite frankly, I don't like the man who thinks he's a god, so he was an easy choice for me. Whatever keeps more people dying, because although I know you guys are strong, I would not go down without at least killing a couple of you.
Well, like I said before, if our goal was to end you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I merely wanted to get to know you. As simple as
Well,
that.
fair enough, but you threw out a entertaining time. At least for my show. And get a couple wagers in. You could have made a lot more than that silver piece.
You see, that silver piece is just a reminder of a debt. I owe that gentleman 100 gold pieces.
Oh, big bet.
Well, like I said, I seen him use fire. I assumed he'd also use lightning. Since we'd seen fire, I assumed he'd use lightning. I assumed
What
wrong.
was your bet on me?
I didn't know you could fly.
A
Though
lot of
I
people
only
think
wagered
that.
on the opening moments. I did not wager on every individual person.
Fair enough. So, what is it you got us here for? This isn't just a meet and greet. What are you looking
On
for?
the contrary, it is. Nothing more, nothing less.
Nothing unless you want us to kill, capture, a deed of sorts. This is just to have dinner.
As I said from the very beginning, join me for dinner, let me get to know you, and in the morning you'll be back on your way. I could not have
Mm.
said it simpler.
Well, most people don't start that with 2 armies.
Well, I'd hate for you to say no.
That is true. But you got to admit, it was out there.
Well, considering our observations of the first group of ruffians, oh, by the way, I must thank you for that. Those guys have been a thorn in my side. Though,
Mm.
the loss of life is always unfortunate. My guys didn't
Tell me about
hesitate to push past them, so if one person stopped you on the road and invited you for dinner, you'd likely ignore them, hence block the road. Much harder to ignore. And here we are, having dinner.
So tell me about this camp. Big, a lot of people. This seems more of a town than a camp.
Yeah, we call it a camp. It's not been a camp for many a year.
Are you trying to start a city?
No, but my men and I just help maintain this particular stretch of the Copper Road through the Badlands that no one seems to care about.
No. I woke up, all my things are still on me, so
Like I said,
what else you want me to do?
you guys are not prisoners. Eat, drink, be merry. Then, as you guys are talking amongst yourselves, you can hear the conversation around you. A couple of it sounds like they're a little bit newer to the entire community. And it sounds like they're talking about Silvercloak. One of them says, I heard he was born in a manor. Other one, you've never seen a manor. I heard he bought the woods. You can't buy woods. You can if you own the road.
I'm sitting in my mind, I'm thinking it's more of he's a poor guy with a royal complex.
Well, he's not that poor. He has a silver cloak after all.
So
Could've got it
as terms of wealth, these guys are all dressed in what look like remodified noble attire.
Right.
It might
They
have been
could be.
noble clothing at one point, but it looks like it's been refitted to be,
Oh, they robbed it from people that's been on the road.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're thieves and robbers. Just because you
Mhm.
church them up and give them a family, don't change what they are.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Samuel? I agree. For once. Yeah, going with the poor. I'm going with the poor man with a royal complex. But anyway, proceed.
The only reason I haven't done what I should have done is because I like playing Samuel. I mean, because what I should have done is set this place on fire the moment I woke up and torched everything in it and killed everyone here, or tried to. But I like playing Samuel.
Nobody's been hostile to you.
Except you brought us here under the point of a sword. It doesn't matter if you're not hostile now. We can't leave here, and you brought us here under the tip of a sword. That means we are essentially prisoners until you decide to let us go. It doesn't matter.
Are you
if you let
talking
us
to
walk
me, the
around free.
DM, or are you yelling at
I'm talking to
Silvercloak?
you. I'm talking to you, the DM. This is how I see it. You know, this is how Samuel.
I
sees
didn't
it.
bring you here. See, this is the misunderstanding you're having. You think you're playing against me. I'm narrating what happens in the world. There's a difference.
Yes, but that would
No,
be true.
no but.
That would be true. That would be true if you didn't design the world and we were going off of
I did
somebody
design the
else's
world.
But you did design the world, which means you built this specific trap.
It's not a trap. It's a dwarf who has a large controlling stake of a part of the road that nobody cares about, and he robs nobles to make sure this part of the road stays intact. You guys were unknown. He's established that. He wanted to get to know you. He's established that. He invited you to dinner. You declined. He insisted. That's it.
That's the part, the insisted part. Stopped being friendly.
I mean, we've insisted upon a few other people.
Okay, so what are you saying? But I didn't make ours. Well, we did it right either. But we were strong enough to. We were strong enough to defend that position.
Yeah. And Silvercloak is strong enough to insist you come to dinner.
Wait, are you complaining about predatory behaviors while having engaged in predatory behaviors?
With a literal god complex?
Hypocrisy!
Yes, very much so, yes. I have no qualms about being a hypocrite. None. At all. At all. I believe in rules for me and rules for thee. I am fully upon that.
So, I'm just curious. We'll keep this above table
No,
for a
I mean,
second
I'm
here.
talking about
If you were in
Samuel,
the
I'm talking about
same
Samuel.
exact position and you had controlling interest in a large portion of, like a territory, and you had some unknowns come through your territory, and you've seen them be aggressive and hostile, would you not take precautions if you wanted to get to know them to make sure that if they were aggressive and hostile, that you could still get to know them?
I would not have brought them back to my camp at the tip of a sword because that guarantees that they will never be friendly towards you. I would have asked them if they said no, then I would have had my army escort them out of my territory, you know,
But
and then that would have been the end of it. And if I saw
see, this
them
is the
back in
problem.
my territory, then
This is the problem.
I would have eliminated them.
Yeah. See, he wants to get to know you guys. That's why he's
Yeah.
having a conversation with the party.
I understand that, but see, friendly conversation is
You're
over
perceiving it
when-
from the perspective that he is being hostile. He is not being hostile. You're taking the tip of the sword a little too hard, that his hostility was the only outcome.
he could have let us go. We didn't want to get to know him. Once he showed up in the street and
He didn't
invited us,
care
we
if you
said
get to know
no.
him. He wants to get to know you. There's a difference.
How is that not hostile then?
All right. What does he want to know about me?
Well, he'd be asking questions about, what you guys do with your time, where you're going, where you're from. Literally just getting to know you.
Ah, okay. Well, then let's let him do that. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, he's genuinely just curious about you because not many people travel without a banner. So a bunch of individuals traveling together without any sort of mark, heraldry, or banner, that's curious. That's why he wants to get to know you.
There's a story there.
Thanks, Gil.
But okay, I can see your point. Okay, but you're still not seeing mine. But okay, well, I'll see your
No,
point.
I see yours plain as day.
Well, let's just see how this goes. Where's
So
Jake?
you
Jake
see a
here?
group of
Fuck.
people with no banner marching through, and when you subdue them, the first thing you do is bring them back to your camp where you keep your families and children and all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Okay.
think they're quite well able to defend themselves.
Okay.
Well,
If he was worried about you being in his camp, he wouldn't have woke you up.
question. I was in a separate house, so I had to walk outside, kind of get to lay the land, and then walk to the main house, or was I in the main house where the dinner and stuff is, so I couldn't see what's out
It's
there?
an open clearing. Like that that image, that central
Mhm.
circle.
Oh, it's where we are.
Yeah, you woke up outside on a like, sitting next to a table. Your gear was, neatly stacked on a, canvas, so it's off the dirt.
I see. Yeah. So automatically, guy's a douche for knocking me out, but I also kind of deserved it. Let's find out what he wants and get the fuck out of here. And continue on my mission.
Well, like you said, we're getting to know each other, and we're gonna watch a
Yep.
play. And leave in
Exactly.
the morning, probably.
Exactly. Plus, this is called DM plot. We can't get out of this.
I never said you couldn't. You guys have full agency. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, he didn't see Samuel try to leave and completely.
Well, he was
get
awake
lost
for
in
that.
a magical port. Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't here last week.
Yeah.
No.
So, Samuel did leave with the wagon, and after
Mhm.
about half an hour, he came back to the camp from a different direction.
Ah.
The forest is magic.
Oh, it's a magic forest. Eh.
Yeah, it's a magic
Okay.
forest. We can't leave. Yeah.
No, you're
Okay, well,
more than
yeah.
welcome to leave.
Functionally prison.
Well, Nibbles can probably figure out how to leave, but I mean, the rest of us can. And I'm really
but
not in a
nibble-
hurry.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're in a magic prison forest, yeah, it's best that we try and just kind of wait it out, and things get hairy. Yeah,
That's what I've been
that's it.
doing.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it. Even Ross knows that.
I was gonna say, and another important thing, there's no patrols, there's no armed guards. Like everybody's just relaxed.
You think it's not only
Yeah,
a
but
magic,
because
but
they don't
let
need
people in.
that. Because they don't need armed guards. They don't need any of that because the forest is magical. That's why there's no armed guards. If they weren't in the middle
Like-
of a magical forest, then they would have guards. I mean,
Likely.
come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't tell us, oh, they're peaceful. They don't even have any guards. That's because they're inside a magical forest and they don't need them.
But I'm saying within the camp. Like you don't have guys hovering over the party. There's nobody around the wagon. You're sitting on the wagon sulking. There's nobody nearby. Nobody's watching you.
They don't need to. We can't leave.
It's
can't.
Mr.
You can't
Mr.
leave.
I think you're missing his point. It's not guarding against the forest. They're not guarding themselves against you.
Right, but what? Okay, he's already said there's like 300 or plus capable warriors in the village, right? So
The
if we
camp can
do
support, it looks like
anything-
about 300 capable people, yes.
Right. So if we do anything, we are not getting out of here alive. So it'd be virtual suicide.
See, you keep
to
saying
even attack
alive. See, the
anyone.
problem is you keep saying alive. Like they're going to kill you.
Okay, if
To be honest, I think they would just knock us out and wait till the next day.
no. You could do something so extreme that they would kill you.
Go and slaughter a child then. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's what Samuel would do. But I mean, these are children of raiders. I have no love for them. You shouldn't have brought me to this camp where your children of raiders are. I have none. No
Well,
Do they
sympathy
look
at
like
all.
raiders? Do they look like
We were brought
bloodthirsty
here.
bandits?
We were brought here against our will. Say what you want.
I get that.
Sugarcoat
I
that
fully
however-
understand.
That makes
I fully
them-
understand that you're
makes them
emphasizing against your
thieves.
will. I really do. I genuinely do. But you have to understand, Silvercloak did that because he wants to get to know you, not because he wants to kill you and rob you blind.
I
Yeah,
okay.
we still have
He
all
has
our
made
stuff.
that abundantly clear.
I do not care about his reasoning of why he kidnapped me to bring to his camp. The point is, he fucking kidnapped me and brought me to his camp. The reasoning matters not.
Some things in the world happen outside of your control.
That's a problem because Samuel is a god. Nothing is ever out of his control, so that's why you've gotten so many funny scenes because I haven't done what Samuel should have done, what Samuel wants to do.
What does God need?
Because
Need with
What?
a carriage?
Why is Samuel not doing it then?
Because I don't want to lose the character. I like playing Samuel. I don't want him to die because believe me, he would just the first row of tents he would just set on fire. He does not care.
Do it.
But I like playing
Suffer
this
the
character. That's why
consequence.
I feel like my hands are tied because I can't do anything. Samuel would never surrender to these people after they kidnapped him. It doesn't matter how much sugar they feed him and sweet talk they give him. None of that matters. They
They do
brought
have
him
caramel
against his
apples.
will.
It sounds like, Mister, then you need to decide what you're doing then.
I'm just gonna sit here and wait till we get out of here and then keep playing. And that because Samuel was pretty much hamstringed in here. I built
Well,
a
cool.
character
Then
that
can we
followed
actually
his
get to
own.
that then? Can we move the plot along then, or are we just going to keep bitching about
Yes.
it?
Well, he keeps trying to interact with Samuel. Don't.
Well, no, I'm responding to you. There's a difference. You started a conversation, and I responded to explain the situation as best I could.
No, I understand your point, bro. Totally, I understand your point. I really do. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's move on.
No, you're good. You're good. It is an important factor of a role-playing game. So, if you want to burn the place down, Samuel, you can. Nothing is stopping you. I want to make that clear.
I know.
Popcorn, mister.
I know.
I'm ready to
I
see
know.
you
I know
die.
nothing is stopping me. Okay. I know. I just know the consequences of those actions, and I'm
Do it.
trying to keep from doing
Strike them
that.
down.
So
So what
Samuel
rules Skipper
understands
playing this?
them, or Mister understands them. Now I'm just curious. Last point
Mr.
I'm asking.
understands it. Mr. understands it, and I am metagaming to keep Samuel from doing it.
Don't.
Because I like playing the character Samuel, and I don't want to see him die to.
I will
something that
metagame promise
we-
you if Samuel does something stupid, you will continue playing Samuel. Samuel will not die.
Okay.
I'm telling you above
Oh.
table, you can play in
Alright.
character, and this situation is designed that you guys don't die.
Oh, okay.
So if you're going to play in character, play in character. Silvercloak has never had hostile intentions towards you. If you do something hostile, they're just gonna knock you out.
Never had hostile intentions. Okay.
Hostile means death. If he wanted to kill you, he would have never had a conversation with you.
Well, I
You guys
understand
just
that.
would have been
That's not
overwhelmed
the point.
and dead.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
That is the
It
whole
ain't
point.
about. No, it ain't about. Oh, we know we could have.
You're
killed
saying
you,
he
so we
doesn't.
get-
You're saying he has hostile intentions. If he had hostile intentions,
No,
you
no,
all
no,
would be
no,
rolling
no,
new
no.
characters.
No, stop. Listen. I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh, I had the strength to kill you all, but I just wanted to get to know you, so I didn't do that. So instead, I had used my overwhelming forces to kidnap you against your will, bring you back to my camp so I could get to know you, and then I'm going to let you go, minus some of your stuff. Right? Is that exactly what happened,
We have
right?
all of our stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
See?
you are 100%
So,
correct.
and you say that makes it better.
I never
So he
said that.
showed
Makes it
us
better.
he was strongest stronger than us, but
I never said that makes it better. I don't know why you keep saying that. I have never said this is good nor bad for you. I have never said anything about moral posture. Those have everything you've said has been moral posturing. I have not morally postured Silvercloak at all. He's never said I'm a good guy. I'm showing
Oh,
you the
nah.
situation in the environment. What you deduce from that is your decision. So anyway,
okay.
back to the original, last most recent point. If you do wish to act in character, I will above table promise you this is not a fatal encounter. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, now I gotta find my fucking place.
Come on. DM can't be losing his space.
I'm slowly losing my mind.
Oh, that's fair. Me too.
Oh,
Oh, it's
he
cold
showed
as hell.
weakness. Overthrow him.
But
You were getting ready to start the show. What's his name just joined them at the table.
yeah,
Silvercloak
Silvercloak's
just
sitting with you
joined them at
guys,
the
and
table.
you guys are overhearing gossip about Silvercloak and the fact that they don't attack caravans, they only attack nobility. All that stuff gets discussed. And Silvercloak chuckles at one point and says, "If I owned every story told about me, I'd be far wealthier than I am." And you guys see Nibbles by our Larrick, kind of just sitting in the dirt. He gets up and runs off into the woods. Looks like he went to the north.
I'm sure he'll be back.
And Silvercloak watches him too, and that one though, curious little thing.
Extremely curious.
Cutie. I wonder who named him.
Well, what is his name?
Nibbles.
Air Sergeant Nibbles.
Well, having seen him eat, that is an appropriate name.
Yeah, we thought as much.
Thank you, Slick.
And he looks at the tree line again, kind of just looks around the circumference of the camp. As for your companion, who slipped the net, if he's around, he's welcome to join us. The apples won't last forever, and the play's about to start. No need to sulk on my account.
I ask him a little about these woods.
Oh, sure.
I'm curious. How do they work?
Well, they're called the Endless Woods. If you get lost in them, you always end up whence you were lost. He doesn't elaborate further.
So is this what the village look like?
That's a rough layout. Yeah, you would be on like the sort of like on the picture southern side, sort of clearing to the south of the big clearing.
Right, right.
There's some
Okay.
space over there where all the carriages and wagons and stuff, and it looks like they have a couple of corrals of horses.
Okay.
The actual buildings are not entirely accurate. I kind of just put them in there to fill space. There is definitely a lot more buildings than what's visible on the map.
Where is the party located? They're up at the main circle?
Yeah, like that. I see that cluster of trees in that make the center.
Yeah.
They're like by a table near there. You'd be just south of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there's a lot more buildings. It's just really hard to single place buildings with the drawing program.
How many wagons
Um,
they got?
it looks like there's probably about 3 or 4 wagons besides yours. There are no carriages though. The wagons look to be mostly filled with crates.
How many horses they got?
Couple hundred easily. They're spread out around the outer rings. There's different corrals in different areas and barns and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The barns are simple structures. They're like post with thatch roof. No like sides on them really or anything like that. It's
Okay.
more like covered pens, but large spaces, plenty of room for all the horses, not cramped or anything.
Right. So, okay. And you said that they're not watching us move around, right?
Nope.
All right.
I mean, there's plenty of people in all of the spaces. It's not like everybody has congregated to the center. Like all of those outer circles still have probably a dozen to half a dozen people, depending on what's in them.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till the play starts then.
Yep. Yeah. And on the stage, you can see somebody's wrestling a large carved pair of antlers. Looks like some sort of elaborate crown. Drum sounds again. And then again, and it sounds like it's settling the conversation. Child near the front spills some cider. It's quietly handed a claw. Laughter flares and fades. Silvercloak leans back in his chair, cup resting loosely in his hand. The tension seems to be comfortably divided between the party and the stage, giving conversation room to unfold on its own.
So the play's going on right now?
It looks like it's about to start. Yeah, the fires are being stoked, lights are being brought down, some hooded lanterns and stuff are being projected onto the stage. Like this would be the play is starting, the curtains getting drawn moment, if that's when you're intending to act.
No, I'm gonna wait like, 5 minutes or so into it.
Okay. The play opens with ceremony. 3 thrones are rolled out, one tall and antlered on the left, one wide enough for 2 on the right, and one bearing a sigil of a painted lion at the center. Harold steps forward on the side of the stage and announces that what the audience is about to witness is the story of how 3 great realms once nearly perfected the art of solving nothing. First to walk on the stage is the King of Castle, a proud man with vast lands and a mighty army, and a long list of allies. He was, however, perpetually behind in learning things. He enters from the left, every inch the patriarch, his great antlered crown tilting slightly to one side, heavy and impractical. He bows stiffly and sits, and servants immediately surround him as he begins eating from one tray and drinking from another. Then and a servant comes up to him and he discovers that his daughter has fled to Amostius, having chosen one of the twin king's son for love, an outcome he had long forebode. And then the princess appears, composed, radiant, entirely unbothered. She crosses the stage from left to right and takes her place beside a halfling by the pair of thrones. Then the twin kings of Amosius, enter together from the right, a pair of halflings, immaculate in symmetry. One sits, the other adjusts the cushion, then the other turns and adjusts the other cushion, and then the other one sits. They both nod together, speak in turn, often overlapping, finishing each other's sentences with confident politeness. They have no objection to their son's choice of love. They do, however, expect to hear from Castle soon enough. And as Castle is talking with his emissary, and this would be about the like 15-minute mark,
Oh, so 10
like
minutes
a
into
decent
my
amount of time
acting.
in the play. What's that?
I
Oh,
said I
I'm
was
sorry.
acting
Yeah,
after
okay, yeah.
5
So
minutes.
okay, yeah. Then that would have been when King Castle was on the stage. My bad. Yeah, it's hard to just the compressed time of a play, all in a bunch of paragraphs. I just kept reading. Sorry. Yeah, 5 minutes into the play would have just been King Castle on the stage, so we could back up there.
Okay. Then I'd like to sneak into the granaries. Is there anybody standing guard on them?
I mean, there's a couple people on the other side of the building that look like they're, marking crates and stuff like that, but they don't seem to be watching the doors or anything. So there are people nearby and the doors are closed.
Easily fixed. I'll just sneak up to them from the wood side, where there isn't anybody, and get inside.
All right, well, I'll need a stealth check from you. Yeah, they look like they're pretty busy doing what they're doing. Able to get up to the door. Looks like it's got a pretty big heavy metal latch on it, like a big sliding bar. Not
There's no
locked in a
windows I can
padlock
just
or
walk into.
no, it doesn't look like it. Your crow was able to see inside of them from the peaks, the eaves. That's about 10 feet, 15 feet up from where you are.
Okay. Does the granary, Hero's been inside. Does the granary have a floor, or is it dirt?
Look to be dirt.
Okay.
Mostly look like sacks of grain.
Well, then I guess I can just use mole dirt to go under the wall.
All right, so you're gonna go back around the, seeing the door is latched pretty, securely, that you don't think you could open it without attracting attention. You go back around the
No,
backside.
what do you mean back around? I didn't leave the backside. I came from the woods
Okay.
up to the granary. You said there was a door there
Yes.
with no people nearby.
I didn't say no people
You
nearby.
said they're on the other side of the building.
Yeah, from the doors. They're not standing
the
on the
fuck am
other
I?
side of the building. Oh, okay.
I approached
One
from the
second.
east.
Sorry. Yes, I got that. I just 1 second. Let me get an image up. 1 second.
Sure. Mhm.
buildings are roughly, say, 30 feet wide, just for simplicity's sake. There was 4 people moving between crates in that green area.
Okay. And where is the door?
So you were able to both the interior facings.
Okay, I would not have gone there then.
That's what I was trying to clarify. You can see the door from the position you snuck up to, but I knew you wouldn't have gone directly to the door with that much open space between the door and where the people are. So you're able to see how the door is latched. That's why I was
Right.
asking if you were just moving to the north or south of the backside, away from them, of the building, to mold earth underneath.
Correct. That is what I would do. The southeast corner of the longer building.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
You go there.
And just excavate a little slip underneath the wall and slip in. Mold earth is somatic only, so it's not like it should make a lot of noise.
Yeah. You carve a bit of ground out. A bunch of sacks fall in it. But you're able to worm past them and get into the building.
Okay. What am I looking at in here?
A couple 100 pounds of varying grain. Or a couple 1,000 pounds of varying grain.
Okay. Is this grain is this wet grain? Is it dried? What kind of grain is it?
Looks to be dried. It looks like it's a mixture of majority of the grains you'd be familiar with, barley, oat, and then a couple of the oh, what is that one called? Hang on.
Oh,
No.
Maize. But it's cereal grains.
Yes. There is one that is the in setting, if I can fucking find it. Fortusk is a sweet and earthy grain that is often used for like dessert breads and stuff like that. The reason I mention it is because the kernels are about the size of a small grape. Otherwise, it looks like corn. So it's more like a bag of marbles versus a bag of grain.
Right. Okay. Well,
But yeah, the bags look like they're marked with dozens of different kingdoms and regions and nations and stuff like that. Doesn't look like they're all sourced from one place.
okay.
Yeah, the only one that really stands out to you as abundant would be the Raven Branch Trading Company.
And this is all unprocessed grain. There's no flour or anything.
Yeah, looks to be just grain.
Okay. Well, I got a couple flasks of oil. I find some nice, well-dried grain, preferably stacked up towards the center, and I douse like the bottom of it so that it would get as a nice, good fire starter.
Hmm.
I then light this set of grain on fire and exit the building via the same way I came in, leaving it to burn
All right.
behind me.
All right. Well, as it begins to burn and the smoke rises, you hear some shouting from the
I
people
want to be
that were
clear. I'm leaving
nearby.
immediately. I'm not waiting to see it take.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm letting you know the outcome. This is several moments later. You are outside and clear in the woods.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are you sticking
Moving
around,
north.
or are you going to moving north?
Yep. I swing out into the woods and then head north. So that first pedal to the northeast also looks like it has a large building. As people get attracted to the fire, I'm going to try to enter that building without being detected.
Okay.
Shortest path from the tree line to the building that doesn't, look
Yeah.
like it'll get me exposed. Probably even just swing all the way around to
Yeah.
the northeast of the clearing.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'd probably go east and then come back in west towards it, so that you're
Yes.
less visible approach. Okay. Well, as the smoke rises, those couple of individuals from nearby, you can, when you're running away, hear them shouting fire, and then a pair of whistle shrills through the camp, and the rest of you would hear this, and about half a dozen to a dozen people from the center circle get up and start going and grabbing buckets and filling them with water and heading in the direction of the whistle.
I'm gonna start freeing horses at the stables,
All right.
moving
So
around the camp.
you're going to go from the carriage or the
I
wagon.
thought I had already started walking around that way, didn't I? Because you said nobody was watching.
I said nobody was watching. You never told me you were moving.
Well, how did I see them from where I'm sitting?
The horses?
Yeah, the stables and everything.
Yeah, they're all over the place. It's not
Oh.
one big area with all the horses in it. There's a dozen different barns and paddocks all over the place. It's spread out. There's no central design to this camp. Other than the central with the stage food area. All of the outer wings are kind of mixed and matched. Some of them have gardens, some of them have
Where are
training
the-
areas.
Where's the whistle coming from? Which direction?
From the direction of the fire. Like the eastern side of that central area.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go the opposite direction and start setting fires myself.
Okay. Are you attempting to do this stealthily? Or are you just walking around with a flint and steel? I'm just asking how
I
you're.
know. I'm debating. I'm debating how I would do this.
You got to realize it's not like all 800 people in the camp are all in the center. There's people all over the place.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
start
I
starting
know.
fires, somebody's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
see
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking.
I know.
I'm just
I know.
trying to
I don't know
clarify
if that's
things.
what I want to do. I don't know if that's what I want to do yet.
I'm giving you as much information for your choices. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to handcuff you
know,
here. I want you guys to understand
I
that.
know.
I
know,
am not putting you in a situation where you're being punished. I'm really trying to make that clear. If I wanted to punish you, I'd just send more of the fucking trolls.
How far is the stage?
The clearing, it's the central clearing is like 300 to 400 feet across. So you're like 150, 200 feet ish on the wagon.
All right, I'm gonna start walking towards the stage to watch. The
Okay.
play.
Well, the group with the bucket are pretty quick to respond to the fire, and it's well and handled, ALR, before you even really get to that other clearing because you went out and around and back to that other building.
All right.
And to get to that building, I will need a stealth check, as this clearing is also not just completely empty of people. There
Well,
are
what am I
people
seeing?
moving around. It looks to be mostly homes in this area.
Okay. What people-wise? What am I seeing here?
Probably about a dozen.
How are
People
they
doing
spread out?
dishes,
What are they
sharpening
armed with?
weapons. It's not a tactical encounter. It's a fucking village. Hang on. I'm sorry, I don't have every single villager place. 1 second.
No
I
worries.
don't have a place. They're roughly
We've been
distributed
telling
throughout the
you
place.
that this was going to be combat. We've been telling you that we were going to.
I'm aware of that, and I've been telling you if you want to choose combat, you can, but
Okay,
I don't have it set up as a tactical map.
Ruffles, what I don't think you understand is I'm trying to evaluate whether or not attempting to sink to it is worth the risk. So that's why I need details.
Given the distribution of the buildings and the distribution of the people, you think you could reasonably get there with maybe going past 2 people from what you can see. And again, there's buildings and stuff, so you can't see everybody clearly. Like, the buildings are not in straight rows and squared up so you can look down the entire street from all the different directions. They're meandered, is the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
There is no
From
organized layout.
Sure. From this closer position, what does it look like that larger building in the center of that clearing is? What function does it serve?
Maybe a cookhouse?
Okay. And these look to be residential homes? All around it?
They look to be houses, yes.
What is their construction? What are they made out
Everything
of?
is made of wood and fireable things.
Are we talking thatched roof, slat roof?
Everything is thatched except for that one large central building that looked like it had cedar shake.
Okay. And the walls appear
Everything
to
is
be
thatched.
what? Wattle and daub? Timber?
Wattle and daub and timber, like mostly timber, but wattle and daub to seal the gaps. Like think log cabin, but
Right.
vertical.
Okay. Now, you said the picture isn't exact, so I'm asking here. Some of those homes look awfully close to the woods. Are they that close to the woods?
Yes, it looks like the space is cleared and a building is constructed, but they don't clear a lot of space out and around it.
Okay.
On the edge of the clearings, there are some open spaces, but there's not like you can pretty reasonable get close to buildings.
Right. So I could approach. So a cookhouse isn't a really big priority target. However, I still want a distraction over here. So, any of these houses on the edge look to be currently unoccupied?
Most of them, like I said, there's people in the spaces, but they're
right.
spaced
So
out.
the idea is I want to come out of the
Let's do it.
woods,
1,
traveling
3.
the minimum distance possible to an unoccupied structure. How big is that distance?
10 feet.
Okay. Then I don't even need to leave the tree line. I can just sit in the tree line, cast prestidigitation, and light the thatched roof on fire with that. And then move on, heading north.
Okay. Yeah, you do that.
Okay.
And the people in the clearing, you hear another person shouts fire, another 2 sharp shrills on a whistle, and more people show up, and the fire is, before you even get really far away, pretty quickly handled.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. How long did it take them before they noticed the fire and got it taken care of? This matters.
Minute to notice it, less than 2 minutes to put it out.
Okay.
And you didn't see a lot of people approach for the fire. Like,
I mean,
those 2 sharp whistles go out, and half a dozen people show up with buckets of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. And it looks like that loud shrill whistle's like audible over the whole camp, alerting everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an incredibly loud whistle. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Like again, from the party's perspective, in the center clearing, first whistle, couple minutes go by, another pair of whistles. But yeah.
All right. So I would basically head north into the woods, a good distance away, so I can still tell where the clearing is, but not directly visible. Like you just get a sense of the thinning of the trees.
Well, there's enough light from the fire that you can see it through the glow of the woods.
Right. I'm then going to head east. to do a nice round circle to head for the southernmost petal.
All right.
Just moving through the woods. I'm not rushing, not running, just moving quietly through the woods.
Well, that'll take you a little bit to get around. It's probably about 1,000 feet across circles, so you're going out and around, just keeping the camp in.
Right.
In sight.
I don't want them to know where I am.
Yeah. One thing to note for you, from your perspective, nobody's come looking for you either.
Okay.
It seems like they put the fire out and then just went back to the center.
Must have been the wind.
Yeah, no search parties. No raise of alarm, other than the whistle and
Maybe this
a
is why
reasonably
the fire
well-organized
watch is
fire
so
brigade.
swift.
Oh, right, but it's more
Well,
that whistle's
wooden-
really loud, right?
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
wakes everybody in the village up kind of loud.
I mean, I wouldn't say if you were sleeping it would wake you up, but if you were awake, you'd definitely hear it. Because it's just too short, chirp, chirp.
Good God, what kind of whistle they use?
Looks like a silver feather. Like, now that you've seen them use it, you do notice that a couple of them do have like a silver whistle around their neck. Looks to be about 2 inches long and looks like a feather.
How many?
And 1 in 5.
Okay.
Actually, Aylar, you wouldn't know that. That people in the party would have seen it. You weren't, observing anybody blowing a whistle because you
Okay.
were moving away every time. So that you wouldn't know that particular piece of information.
Fair enough.
But the rest of the party would have seen, oh, that guy blew a whistle. Oh, that guy has a whistle too. Oh, that guy has a whistle too. Oh, that guy has a whistle too. Anyway, so Samuel, a couple of fires have been started. You want to hop off the wagon and start meandering and setting fires elsewhere?
No, I was walking towards the stage. I thought.
Oh yeah,
I
that's right. I'm
said-
sorry. Yeah, you were walking towards the stage. My bad. Oh, a lot of stuff going on. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you're able to walk. Do you want to walk through the tables or out and around, like the backstage?
No, I'm just want to walk where I'm close enough to see the stage. Like
mean-
maybe 20 feet from the stage. 25. Can I get that close? Without going through tables or nothing?
Yeah, if you wanted to go out and around, like there's like the center is sort of set up as like a large food area, so to speak. So there's a lot of cook tents and cook structures dotted around the outside. That's where like people see people going and refilling their cider and coffee on those outer
Oh, so
outer ones.
how far is it from the edge of the thing to the stage?
Like from the outside of the clearing to the stage, the back of the
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
50 feet.
Okay, then I want to stand just outside the clearing.
So you want to walk behind the stage to the outside of the clearing, to the northish side of the clearing.
Okay, from the wagon, how far?
Yep.
I want to get within 100 feet of the stage. Can I do that?
Yes. From multiple angles. I'm asking which angle you want to be at. You said the edge of the woods, so I was clarifying you were to the northwest of the stage.
No, I'm walking straight up from the wagon.
Okay. So you would go
Towards the
through the
stage.
center of the clearing, past all the tables and stuff.
I have to travel that far to get 100 feet from the stage.
You're about 200 feet from the stage, give or take, on the wagon. To get 100 feet from the stage in a straight line, that would put you basically adjacent to the tables in the center. You'd walk straight north from the wagon, and you would be 100 feet from the stage, but you would be standing next to the tables in the center. That is the straight line path.
Okay, 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 okay. What if I meander a little to the right or left? How many, chef places and little huts can I get in 100 feet?
Half a dozen.
That sounds good. I'm just gonna fire off my eye laser and burn everything.
Okay.
5 foot wide, 100 foot long,
Yep.
just beam of light.
Yep. You set a bunch of stuff on fire, and
I'm
um,
aiming for the stage during the middle of the performance.
yep.
The drama.
Well, Well, go ahead and roll damage because you do catch 2 people in that. If you're trying to get people,
Oh yes,
would've
I'm
been-
definitely trying to hit people, not just things. I want to hit more people.
Mhm.
There's a way I can shape it to hit more people.
not that you know of.
It's 8d6.
Yep.
Look at that
Okay.
roll.
You singed a couple of the boys, and then Silvercloak draws his bow and shoots at you.
Yeah, you got me all 3 times. I mean, he's got a fucking
Alright.
plus 12. I mean, you
You're
set this
unconscious
up
then.
so we can't do nothing.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yeah. Or we sit there and talk to the guy that took us prisoner until he's done with us, robs us, and then puts us back on the road. Oh yeah, real friendly.
Says the guy that kills kids and shot me in the back.
And 20 civilians.
They were cult worshippers. They were evil.
That's what the paperwork says.
That's exactly what happened. They were serving a demon or devil. A devil.
But anyway,
They were all like, "She's a nice person. She's our mayor. She's that devil worshippers."
And what devil was
Sure.
I worshipping when you shot me in the back?
It was accidental. I didn't mean to hit you. It was accidental.
Bullshit, you didn't mean to hit me. You're like, he's in the way. Fuck him.
It was accidental. You didn't die.
I get the
I
impression
did
that
die.
Samuel's a bad person.
He is very much a bad person, yes. He is self-opinionated, entitled, and thinks he's right about everything.
Oh, I'm gonna love watching him die here.
You're
Oh, he
not
just
gonna
got knocked
die.
out.
No, because they won't kill him. They're gonna
He's got knocked
subdue him and then release him back out. Like cowards.
Yeah,
So,
they should have been like Gilbert.
two
and
more
execute you
sleepy
while you're
sleepies
unconscious.
for Samuel.
Yeah. I mean, at least if you're gonna be, bandits, be full bandits. Don't be these, oh, we don't kill. We just rob you and then send you on your way. The fuck?
I never said they were bandits.
You didn't have to. You said they robbed from the nobles
Robin
who
Hood,
traveled the road.
mister. They're Robin Hood.
And Batman.
Welcome to Sherwood Forest. You've just attacked the merry men.
Good. Robin Hood
Hold on.
was, for all intents and purposes, a thief.
Hold on. I got the perfect gif for this. Hold on.
But anyway, so yeah, in short order, the fires in the center are put out because there happens to be a lot of bodies and a lot of water sources, and the play just goes on.
What?
Like they stop the play, put the fires out, and then they kind of just pick up where they left off.
See? See? No consequences, nothing. It's
I haven't even begun to show you my consequences, mister.
I'm so confused. Are you salty that he's not executing you while you're unconscious?
yes, I am.
Some people in the
Look.
world don't kill people. In fact, hostility and violence is relatively uncommon because the entire world is trade focused.
Until they met us.
Even after they met you. That's why I'm genuinely curious about Alar's plans, because he's a freaking archaeologist. Why is he all of a sudden master tactician?
He read a lot of books.
I mean, it seems like everything he does doesn't matter neither, because they put the fires out almost instantaneously. They have
An
whistles that
entirely
reach
wooden
all over.
camp with a lot of open fires. You don't think they have some sort of preparation for errant fires?
See what you don't
With
see.
hundreds
It
of
makes
people
sense.
and
It makes
children?
sense.
I mean,
No,
London
no,
didn't.
No, see, so
Yeah.
Alar, if Alar would have done
London
more
wasn't competent.
archaeology, there's 3 other like settlements
These
under
are like
this
this is like a
system.
strike team. Is what every one
Well,
of these people
and
are like
to
a stray
your
remote
point though,
village.
Alar is an archaeologist. He's a medieval archaeologist who goes to like far-flung places outside normal civilization protections. So yes, he knows how to deal with bandit camps.
Once again, I didn't say they were bandits.
I didn't
Just
say
because-
you did, I said I did.
Exactly. This is
Your
the thing.
definition, whether or not they're bandits, is irrelevant to this conversation.
I know. I'm just clarifying a point.
But
No, you're not.
I'm clarifying the perspective.
no, you're
Nope.
not.
Your
I'm
perspective,
clarifying my
they're
perspective.
bandits. Yes.
What do you call someone who brings you to their camp, takes your stuff, and then sends you on your way?
The local police department?
Thieves.
Attack.
Enron?
Enron. Do you have an
A feudal
inspiration? I think you
lord?
have an inspiration already. Fucking
The
great.
church?
All right. So Alar's making his way around the big circle. Samuel starts some fires in the center, and they're put out relatively easily. And the play resumes. The twin kings have no objection of their son's choice of love. They do, however, expect to hear from Castle soon. And as Castle is talking to one of his emissaries to send over an angry, threatening letter, another enters the stage. King Trenton of the Kingdom of Trenton. He arrives center stage. Fur-lined coat, long cloak, rolled map tucked beneath one arm, and a small pine sapling in a flower pot in the other hand. He sits down in the center lion throne and begins talking to Castle and listening to Castle's grievances. He strokes his beard thoughtfully, accidentally pulling the makeup beard down too many times. And he agrees that Castle has been wronged, grievously, monumentally wronged, and proposes a trade for a solution. He will retrieve the princess himself, sparing Castle the humiliation of negotiation, and all he requires in exchange is a modest lumber access along their shared bordered forests. A practical matter, purely economic. And as he speaks, a couple of stagehands quietly unfurl a painted forest backdrop and begin measuring it with exaggerated care. Castle squints at the map, calculating the cost. His pride outweighs the acreage, and he agrees with a flourish. Then the emissaries begin. And envoys dance across the stage with sealed envelopes from king to king. And finally, one arrives over at the twin kings of Asmodeus. Amodius, I'm sorry. I spelt it too closely to Asmodeus from fucking Supernatural, so I keep wanting to say Asmodeus. But they hand the envelope, and the two kings speak. We must be measured, measured and calm and firm. Firm but gracious, gracious but unyielding. Unyielding, and then that was they were going back and forth, finishing each other's sentences, and then together they say no, smiling warmly, and the princess beside them claps politely and happily. Then Amosius sends its own emissary to castle. This one carries no letter, only a mirror, and is presented with great ceremony. Castle studies his reflection. His antlers sit crooked. His wig has shifted from his gesturing. And then rage overtakes him. And more letters fly back and forth, emissaries carrying them, rolling their eyes as the kings argue with each other over letters. And the king of Trenton quietly gets up while this is going on and is with a pair of scissors cutting trees from the backdrop, rolling them up and putting them in his pocket. And the herald recounts how the border disputes multiplied, how modern slights are cataloged, and eventually everything reconciles into war. And then the armies are raised. Soldiers, dressed up and ranked and decorated in their king's liege, or their king's heraldry, rise and fight. And scribes' banners clashing, grain stores burned, forests fell. And he notes how the argument about one woman and one insult expands into tariffs, oaths, inheritance claims, and timber rights, into a war that lasts for years. Though no one can later recall precisely which insult required so much bloodshed. Then the lights are brought back up, and the three rulers sit exhausted upon the same throne they began on. The forest backdrop is noticeably thinner. The mirror is cracked. And an emissary, dressed in the heraldry of Asmodeus, holds it up for the king of Castle to observe himself once more. Asmodeus offers this, your majesty, that you may look upon the true architect of this horrible conflict. Castle studies his reflection once again and says, I see only a king. The emissary replies, precisely. And the curtain draws. So, Alar, you would have gotten probably to the where you wanted to be positioned before the war starting. like before the fighting, like when the emissaries are throwing letters at each other. So, what would you like to do on the southern camp?
So again, it looks like there's some residential structures towards the south that are very close to the tree line. Would I be able to get to there without any reasonable
Yeah,
being
yeah,
easily
another
detected?
10 feet. Yeah, same as before. 10 feet
Great.
from the edge.
Does this hovel have a window or something I can look into, see what the inside looks like?
Yeah, yeah. It's a 1 floor structure, thatched roof, a couple of windows around it. They look like they have shutters on the outside. No latch or any mechanism holding them closed.
Are the shutters
But
currently open or closed?
closed.
Okay. Is there a shutter on the treeward side that I could open without being
Mhm.
detected? I'd like to do so.
Yeah, yeah. You don't hear anybody inside. It's not late enough that people would be completely sleeping. More likely, if anybody was home, they'd be meandering. But you don't hear anybody. Yeah, you're able to open it and look inside. Looks like a 15 by 20 structure, some central poles, shared sleeping space with half a dozen beds in it. Some kids' toys on the floor. That's what you see.
All right. Is this window big enough I could enter the structure?
Yeah. It's like 3 by 3,
All
3 by
right.
3.
Great. So I'll hop in there. Is there like a central supporting beam holding up the roof?
There's
In the
several.
Several? Okay, great. The beds, mattresses are furs,
Yeah, like
straw,
a
down.
mix of furs and straws.
Perfect.
A mix of fur, like straw with fur on top.
Right. Um, so whatever
Looks like
bed's
mostly
closest to this
deer and elk
beam, I
pelts.
just move it right next to the beam.
Okay.
I then exit the window, use prestidigitation to light the bedding on fire, and then close the shutters and move into the woods. Hopefully, by the time they detect this one, because it's in an enclosed building, it will no longer be so easily controlled.
Oh, that is true. You
And then I'm heading west, going clockwise.
yeah, making a big circle. Are you
Yep.
doing the same? Getting as far away, just keeping the camp in sight, moving around.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Priority is to remain not undetected, but undiscovered.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know
You,
I'm here.
started on the east, went to the north, then you're in the south all of a sudden after half an hour.
Yeah.
You're nearby, but again. So this fire, because of the position, this particular clearing didn't look to have too many people in it. They go 5 minutes, so well after you lit the fire, but you do hear the whistle, 2 sharp, short chirps, and a bunch of people leave the center clearing, and then about a minute, another 2 short chirps. A couple more people get up. And then, it's out of sight line for anybody to know the full extent of what happened.
Mhm.
But for the party in the center of the center clearing, about 10 minutes from the first whistle, and everybody's back in the center of the camp. It'd be about how long it'd take you to get to the west.
Yeah, I'm going to wait an hour. I'm just going to hang out in the woods for about an hour or so.
All right. Well, the play would have finished by then. Emissary holding the mirror up to the King of Castle, and telling him that the problem was him. Who knew? But for the rest of you in the clearing, as the applause for the final bow fades and murmur of conversation drifts back to a louder volume, activity around the tables soften. firecrackers low, and the children are, slowly meandering into different clearings. And parents move with them, and the stage looks like it's being cleared up. Silvercloak rises from his seat, goes over to the chair he was sitting in earlier, and grabs his cloak and pins it to his shoulders, and comes back over to you. And, well, would seem your friend is quite the Firefingers.
Yeah.
Regardless, the night is late. I'm sure you'll want rest. So please follow.
I'll just since the other one is out, I'll just sleep with the carriages or stuff there. I appreciate it.
Well,
Besides, in case Nibbles comes back, I want to make sure I'm somewhere he can.
oh,
He won't
Nibbles. I
ruffle
forgot
any
about
feathers.
Nibbles. Oh, yeah. Nibbles. I forgot about Nibbles. He ran
Everybody
off.
forgets about Nibbles.
Well, he does the whole disappearing act so many times.
Exactly. So I'll just be like, no, I'll stay out here just in case. I don't want to ruffle
Um,
him the
he,
white
he,
feathers.
he would have come back after probably about midway through the play, dragging the carcass of a deer.
Ah.
So,
Oh, then I say I'll stay out here because I want to keep him company.
yeah. Well, but Nibbles is more than welcome to stay in the cabin. What we
I'm not sure
use
if
for
he'd
our
like it.
guests. You've
I
seen Nibbles
mean,
sleep inside.
well, yeah, but well, A, I'm trying to also stay near our stuff. A, B, he's a
Yeah.
little picky.
Hmm. Well, very well then. And he heads over back to the table he was first sitting at, says a few words to them, and kind of, the whole head nod. Everybody nods their head, sort of. And it looks like a couple of people are picking up Samuel and moving him over to a structure to the like southwest-ish of the clearing. So like 50 feet north of where you are by the carriage and wagons. Looks like they just brought him inside. Then they come out. They have his pack and his scythe, and they just kind of set it on the interior of one of the carriages.
Just make sure if it starts falling over, the scythe will put back up a little bit and be like,
Yeah. Well, they laid it like on the foot area
ah,
inside the carriage, so it's like flat.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. But he, you're probably watching Silvercloak. He heads over to that stone foundation structure in the middle. Looks like about a dozen to 2 dozen people are all kind of making their way to that structure, and everybody else is sort of departing and going to different exterior clearings. A couple people are passed out on the tables, getting poked by friends and stuff like that.
Hmm. I'll get on top of the one of our carriages, and I'll just kind of keep an eye on what Silvercloak and his buddies are doing near that foundation there.
And it looks like they're going inside to go to sleep.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned foundation, it's the only structure that you guys have seen that has any sort of foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just didn't know if they were gonna
yeah.
gather
It's
around and
it, it
start
looks
doing
like a
some
proper
chanting
like
or something like.
wooden cabin with cedar tile roof. But it's a rather large structure. It looks to be 40 by 40 and 2 stories.
Okay, well then what's in? No, I'm sure they're not doing like some chanting around the building or anything like that. I just kind of get comfy
Nope.
and go off to sleep.
All right. Rast, what do? You taking the invitation to sleep in the cabin with the unconscious Samuel? Because Lizar went in there. Lizar got offered a bed. He's taking a bed. Rast, Slick, Nate. Oh no. He fell asleep
Right.
watching the play.
Yep.
Well,
I guess we'll just assume yes.
well, it would be the beginning of a long rest. And this would be right about when an hour has passed, Alar.
Okay. So by this time, I should have probably made my way to that northwestern petal with the 5 larger structures in it. It looks like.
Yep.
What are those 5 larger structures? What's their function?
Oh, that is one of the ones that I just gave up on. That is just there are no larger structures in that clearing. That's just a bunch of housing. There's
Okay.
a lot more farm and field in that one. Like it looks like there's what you'd guess would be some sort of tuber, and then cabbages and other fall plants, as that is the current season. So squashes, things like that.
Did
But yeah,
their
this clearing is half residential, half garden.
right? I gotcha. They got I forget the term for it. The supplies they had in the granary, was that probably sufficient for a population of roughly this size to last a winter?
Definitely.
Okay.
More so. Like that there's more food there than what this
I'll be right
particular
back.
population would need.
Okay. Great. So as people go to sleep, do they still have roving people out at all hours?
Yes, it looks like there are probably about half a dozen in each clearing, and if you had to guess based on the size of the main clearing, probably a dozen, if not more, there. As it looks like they are all tending the different fires to keep them going. There are open hearth fires all over the place. But they're just being kept low and stoked right now.
Okay. Are there any abandoned structures? Structures that just are currently unoccupied.
Not that you could really tell, because some of them have lights in them, some of them don't. You'd be guessing. Like if somebody has a candle lit in one, but not the one next to it, the one next to it doesn't mean they're not sleeping in it.
Okay.
If you
Nothing obviously
you don't see anything that
unoccupied.
obviously unoccupied. Yes.
Alrighty.
I keep scaring myself when I shut my front door because I got shit hanging on it. I forget it's there. It's loud crashing noise behind me when I close the door. Anyway, sorry. Yes, nothing is obviously unoccupied. Like if you had moved in, you're well and hidden and not observed or anything like that. You would have seen most of the house had somebody, a couple of people, half a dozen people. All of them look like somebody went to them.
Okay.
Like evenly distributed amongst the buildings. Well, Eric, are you intending to set any sort of watch for yourself? Are you planning on waking up
Nope.
at some point in the middle of the night? You're just gonna go to sleep for the whole night?
Yep.
Okay.
I figure nibbles will be a good enough watch. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will cast invisibility on myself again, and fly to that central structure, the only one that had a foundation. Land on the
The
roof.
cedar roof.
Yeah.
All right. Are you attempting to land quietly on the roof? It is wood.
Is there a stone chimney?
Eagle. There is not.
Is there any chimney?
There is not.
Okay. Then yes, I'm trying to land quietly on the roof.
All right, I will need a stealth check from you. Yeah, you kind of went thump.
Okay. I wait like a minute to see if there's any response to that. Just sitting there.
There is about half a dozen people, including Silvercloak, come outside, and Silvercloak looks up. Well, I'm guessing you were the one that got away, and if you're nearby, there's a comfortable bed over there you can sleep in. He kind of just gestures sort of to the southwest of the clearing. But if you could stop setting fires, it would be appreciated. So there are currently 8 people and Silvercloak standing on the ground, looking up at the roof. They don't know where you are, they just know you're up there.
How far away from me is he currently?
It's a 2-story, yeah, it's a 2-story building. Reasonably tall structure, so I'd say you're 20 feet up. We'll call it 40 feet because he went out so he could see up on the roof.
Okay. Then I simply I have the telepathic feat.
Mhm.
So I can telepathically speak to a creature I can see within 60 feet in a language I know, but it can't respond telepathically.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to speak directly into his mind. No, no more fires.
And then he pulls out a Glock.
All right, one second. Yeah, and he keeps looking at the roof. Well, I appreciate that. There's some leftover food down here as well if you're hungry. And like I said, and again, kind of gestures to the southwest. There's a bed if you want.
I make no further
You know,
reply.
he doesn't appear startled that you've spoken to his mind. And if he was, it wasn't apparent.
Fair enough. It's more I didn't want to make any sounds as to give away my position.
That's fair. I mean, they do look like a couple of them have longbows on their backs, so that would be a viable. We know where you are. We're going to make sure you come down now.
Yes, but if they're content to just let me snoopy myself up out here on the roof.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has a weapon drawn or aimed at the roof or anything. Like the fire tenders are kind of looking at Silvercloak, sort of confused, but they're minding their own business or as best they can. There's still a couple people in the central clearing, like cleaning up and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's empty. And a few more moments go by, and well, the offer's open. And he chuckles and walks back inside. And the others join him.
Okay. I give it 5 minutes. And
Mhm.
I should specify because I didn't specify earlier. I have drinking one of those potions of watchful rest.
Yeah, you said that last session, so I just
Okay.
assumed you drank it when long rest started.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
Just-
assumed you -1 on the inventory. Yeah.
I did. I'm just clarifying with you because I wasn't sure if you
Mhm.
remembered or not.
Yep.
All right. So I give it 5 minutes, and I then begin a ritual of casting a spell with verbal components while invisible.
Okay. Well, that would drop your invisibility as you start spellcasting. Yes.
It would, yes.
Okay. Well, one of the fire tenders sees you and hears you and
Uh-huh.
blows a whistle.
Uh-huh.
A single, sharp, long burst,
Uh-huh.
similar to what you had heard in the combat when Connie was downed, and several people come out of the central structure with
Uh-huh.
bows. And so that would have taken about 10 seconds. What spell are you casting?
Well, I'm casting alarm.
Okay. I am not sure where you're going with this.
I'm hoping they don't either.
Uh,
I
Well-
imagine they are very confused at the moment.
well, you're standing on their rooftop casting a spell, and yeah, they're gonna shoot at you with arrows. They're they're not sure what you're doing, but they're not gonna let you just do it.
So Silver Cloak doesn't know what spell I'm casting. That's good to know.
He's made no indication.
Okay. He hasn't said anything? He just looks at me and
no,
then
he's
has
like-
him shoot?
He looks up and goes, "Ah, there he is. Boys, could you bring him down?" That's all he says. And he and they start shooting at you. Do you continue ritually casting alarm, because that will take a minute, or do you stop? Actually-
Yeah, I would just sorry, what was that?
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I just pulled up 5e tools to look at alarm. It says 1 minute or ritual. This ritual is 10 minutes no matter what, right?
So casting a spell takes its casting time. Casting a spell as a ritual adds 10 minutes to that casting time.
Ah, okay. So whenever it's an action, it's basically instantaneous. So we call it 10 minutes. Got it.
Right,
Okay,
it's
so
10 minutes
have to
plus
spend
6 seconds.
Yeah,
It's an 11-minute
so
casting time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, they're going to start firing arrows at you.
I mean,
Do
if
you
it looks like they're
continue
getting ready
ritual?
to shoot at me, I stop and,
Okay.
slide down the roof the other side and fly away.
Oh, they came. Okay. So the eaves of the structure is facing the front door, like the gable end, the flat side of the roof. They came out and formed a half circle, and there is about a dozen of them, so 12 archers plus Silvercloak. They
Okay.
formed a half circle, so they can see both sides of the roof. So you're getting shot at by 6 people, no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Either side you slide down, there's people that can see you.
that's fair. Which side has Silvercloak?
He's basically standing in the middle. Like, I'm assuming you were standing at the peak.
Yeah, the center of the building at the peak.
Yeah, so he just backed up far enough that he could see you, probably off to one side or the other. I'll call this west and east. Don't know.
So, like, the moment his guys would have started, like, unslinging their bows, I would have stopped and started fucking off.
Then we'll
if
roll
they're
initiative if
surrounding-
you're trying to fuck off.
Say again?
If you're stopping and trying to fuck off while they're unslinging their bows, then we'll roll initiative to see who wins.
Fair enough. So I would also be talking to him telepathically the moment I see him unslinging their bows. Like, well, that's not very friendly of you.
Neither is starting fires.
All right, back.
Neither is kidnapping. I figured we would call it even.
All right, we'll just do east and west to see. Hang on, I gotta go find their stat blocks. All right, 4. Okay. So cool. Okay, so they all get their shots off before you really have a chance to act. So Silvercloak would have been slightly to the west. So I'm assuming you would have gone to the east because of that.
No, if they're surrounding the building, I'm going straight up.
Okay, well then,
Question:
mm,
do they have dark vision?
some of the races do, and some of these are those races. However, it doesn't appear the darkness is impeding their vision at all
Okay, just figured I'd ask.
of any of them. Yeah, of any of them.
Like,
Like,
there's
even
no reason
the
I
you
was
know
trying
the
this at night.
yeah there's a
Did-
couple
did you
humans, but
expect anything left?
there's a couple of humans, but they seem to be fully tracking where you are, even at this distance.
Okay.
They all have nods, man. This is a full tactical squad, dude.
All right, so this
We rolled
is
up on the Green Berets, dude.
They all
Jesus
missed.
Christ.
they all missed.
Did they? Maybe those are just warning shots.
Well, they are blunt arrows. The 8, 10, 8. The 13 miss.
The 13 misses because I would be casting shield.
Does that bump you up over anything else? 17.
No, that'll bring
17?
my
No?
AC to a 16.
Okay. So yeah, you sweep out your wings, and in your first beat, as you try to go vertically, you are pummeled from multiple arrows. Do you have any resistance weird shit or?
Yep.
Okay, so
Resistances to fire traps.
okay. So then that wouldn't really apply to.
If it's just blunt
There.
damage, then no.
Yeah, not bludgeoning. Or yeah, blunt. Sorry, blunt, not bludgeoning.
Well,
Yeah.
bludgeoning is blunt. They're synonyms.
Well, no, I'm specifically using blunt as non-lethal to make it clear that blunt and bludgeoning are two different things. Bludgeoning is you're clubbing a dude's skull in. Blunt is they're intentionally not trying to kill you. Makes sense in my head. Oh, I was looking at the wrong fantasy fellow. That would have been a +3 for their niche, but that doesn't change anything. As they fire on you with their longbows. So then I can just roll it all together. .62 blunt.
Okay. So that takes me unconscious.
You fall back to the roof.
Well, yeah, I would fall back to the roof and then presumably bounce off.
Yeah, and as you slide down the well, you're unconscious, but Alaric, you'd see this. They
I'm
run up
asleep.
to try to catch. Well, you would have probably. It's still early on. This was like right in the beginning of like long rest. So you would have probably been woken up by that whistle.
Ah.
But you see the ones on the side of the roof that he fell down, running up to try catching him, which they do reasonably well. A couple of them kind of crumple under Alaric or Alar. But strip him of his gear. like your pack, anything on you, was taken off of you, and you'll poof wake up in 4 hours in the middle of a long rest.
That's fine.
Does
But,
a potion of wakeful rest persist? I think it persists, doesn't it? It just
yeah, there's no
happens.
concentration on
Yeah.
on that potion, so
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just wake up and you're like, all right, I had my fucking coffee. But yeah, they looks like they carry him over to that same structure that Samuel and Liza are in. And then, if nobody sets a watch, well,
I wake
actually,
I wake up
Alar,
at the
you
4-hour
wake
mark. Yes.
4 hour mark. Yes,
Okay.
you have none of your stuff.
I'm already awake.
Okay.
Yep, you're awake.
But I saw where they put the
Samuel, well,
party's gear. Yeah.
yeah, 1 second. Samuel did wake up first. Samuel, you would wake up, and you would see the unconscious form of Alar laying next to you. Because Samuel's a paladin, he could actually heal you. So I didn't think of that. Samuel, you wake up. Lizar is sleeping in one of the bunks. It looks like there are 8 bunks. There's 8 spots to sleep in this building. A group of bunk beds along the wall. There's 2 windows to your like north-ish, and you can see the central clearing through them, like through the gaps the shutters are drawn. But you can still see that that looks like a bunch of tables and a bunch of spots that people would sleep or eat. And you see the unconscious form of Alar laying in one of the bunks. He has none of his gear on him.
Lay on hands. Wake him up.
All right. Alar, you wake up with 1 hit point, or however many Samuel decides to be charitable with.
I did give him one to get him awake.
Okay.
All right.
I wake up.
Yep.
Well,
They took our stuff.
so
They
they
want
did.
us to believe they're peaceful. No, never known kidnapping.
So, where exactly am I?
In one of the huts, I believe.
Yeah, you're in a structure to the southwest of the main clearing. The door is on the southern side of the building, and to the like northeasterish side, it's like at an angle because it's on the corner. There are 2 windows you can see through the shutters. It looks like you're sort of looking at the central clearing, and you'd remember the layout and roughly have an idea of which building you're in because you spent so much time scouting. You would know that your wagon and carriages are about 50 feet to your south.
Okay.
And you
well-
would have seen Alaric sleeping on the top of the carriage, so you'd know where he is too.
Right. And I saw where they put the party's gear when they stripped them when they went into the camp. Yes.
Well, the gear
Originally.
was just all stacked up next to them when they were
Aha.
unconscious. So everybody's stuff was right by them when they woke up. That spot would have been near the central table area.
Right. Do I know where my stuff is?
No. Currently your stuff is unaccounted for.
Okay. I know where they put Samuel's stuff though, because I was watching. Yes.
You were outside the camp
Okay.
when Samuel did his thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, you did not have observational, inheritance of that knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's easy enough. I cast locate object on
Okay.
my bag.
Your bag of holding?
Yeah.
All right. It is roughly where that cedar schliked building was.
They blew it up already? Like Jesus, they did.
Well,
they
you
went
can't
fast.
see it. You know where it is, though.
Like I said, was like past tense. I'm like Jesus, they already fucked with my stuff and then blew themselves up. Like that was fast, even for bandits.
But no, where you were knocked unconscious, you believe that's where it is.
Okay. Well, I get up and go to get my stuff. I just walk outside.
All right. Yeah. Walk outside. There's no guards. Nobody's waiting for you to wake up. You're walking towards that foundation building.
Yep. Locate object, like,
What
is
the
it middle, upper, lower? Where is it in the building?
Looks like it's on the second floor.
Okay.
As you're walking towards it, one of the fire tenders kind of waves at you and smiles.
I nod. Personably, like, standard greeting.
I'm gonna be with Alar. I'm gonna stay with Alar.
All right, yeah.
Since we're both.
Do you guys wake Alaric up?
Do we go to the carts first? If we do, we can wake Alaric up. I don't know if we get. I don't know.
I mean, it's like you walk outside. You're on the southern side of the building. When you're walking through the door, you can see your carriages and wagon. Like you could see Alaric.
Oh well, then yeah, we'll walk over.
Yeah, he's 50 feet away on the top of one of your carriages. That's where.
Yeah, and then I can pick up my stuff there too.
Yeah, like I'm just retrieving my stuff. I actually wouldn't wake up Alaric unless Samuel wants to.
No, we can let him sleep.
All right. Yeah. So go over the carriage. Samuel grabs his stuff out. Alaric, you are just having the most disturbed sleep on this carriage seat.
That's fine.
First the whistle, then Samuel slamming doors.
Does he wake
Because
up
he doesn't.
and see us?
No, Samuel doesn't know where his stuff is, so he has to look for it. So he has to go through the wagon, go through the carriages. Where do you start? Because it's inside one of the carriages on the floor, so it's not like a beacon saying Samuel's stuff here.
Well, I'll start at the front and work my way back.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
around
Then,
Alar.
Yeah. Alaric is sleeping on the front carriage, and your stuff is inside of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start searching around for it.
I mean,
I wake
considering
him up,
Alaric
you
is
know.
also a archaeologist, he's probably used to loud camps. He
Yeah.
probably sleeps right through you banging and
I
banging
mean,
all the
we've
cabinets.
took naps on the way down the road. A little bang and not.
But all right, Samuel and Alar, you guys start heading towards that central building.
Do they have a guard posted outside of it, or just the fire watch guys?
Just the fire watch guys. One or
Okay.
two of them kind of wave at you, and it's just a door.
Yeah, I wave at them. So sorry, I can't. Either you didn't tell me or I don't remember. Locate object tells you where it is in 3D space. Is it like in a basement? Is
on
it
the second floor.
Second floor. Okay.
Yep.
And there's a shuttered window on the first floor.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a couple of shuttered windows on the first floor, a couple of shuttered windows on the second floor. Looks like there's a front and two back doors on this building. It is a 40 by 40 building. I don't have a footprint or a layout
That's
for
fine.
this or anything like that.
So
I'm just making it up
I'm
as I
just going
go.
to summon my familiar on the other side of the shutter. I'm not even going to try to open it manually. And I'm going to tell.
It's
What's that?
It's not the shutter is not latches. It's just two boards that are on hinges.
I understand. I don't open it though. That's
Gotcha.
intentional.
Gotcha.
And I tell Samuel to, remain close, and I just put like my hand on his shoulder. That this is important, Samuel.
Okay,
He's looking through his familiar's eyes. He needs you to be his blind man's bluff.
Yeah.
got it.
And then I'm loading my familiar's eyes, and I'm directing it to fly through the structure to the location of these objects.
On the first floor, it looks like there's well, let's see. There are, hang on, from the outside. All right, let me grab a picture and draw real quick because this will which room you'd end up in as the bird. Like it's important. The the windows and doors are not to scale, but they are color coded.
So they're gonna find a red key, a blue key, and a yellow key.
There's a door in front of you with a red padlock. There's a red key, a green key, and a blue key. What do you do? Fucking love that one.
Throw thermal flame.
All right, just for quick and simplicity's sake, like I said, the windows are all about the same as those other ones, 3x3. You're going for one of the first floor windows, so those are red, and the doors. Oh, the northeast is also red. I just missed when I was highlighting and changing colors.
Oh,
So which
Okay.
window? This is a 40 building.
which one is closest to my stuff?
That one that I just changed the color of. Like your stuff is in that northeast corner, but up,
Okay.
which would actually be.
So if I'm at like on the ground next to that window, I'm within like 30 feet of my stuff. Ish.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I just summon my familiar on the other side of this window, looking through its eyes and commanding it telepathically.
Mhm.
And
So
basically,
first window.
I just wanted to, like, to fly through, find the stairs, go up, find my stuff, like locate where my stuff is and what the surrounding area of it looks like the immediate surroundings.
Okay. Well, your familiar pops in, and it's like you'd call it a kitchen. There's low counters all over the place, and a sort of table in the center with, a dozen or so seats. It's about a 10 by 15 room. There's an open doorway to the south, and given your commands, is the only way to move into the structure. Here it would fly into there. Looks like a central hallway, and you can see the front doors, the back of the front doors from there. Then you'd fly down that because there's no obvious stairs. And near the front of the building, it looks like there are stairs, and he flies up those on the northern than drawing. This is rotated 45 degrees clockwise from the actual drawing. We fly up the stairs, and that room where you know your stuff is, where you directed him to go cardinally, is a closed door.
Okay. Does this correspond to a window on the second floor?
Yes.
Okay. Well, easy enough then. I will just kind of flap up there and pop my familiar out and back in on the other side of that, and then just settle back down.
Question.
Yep.
When you get vision and sight when you were in his eyes, right?
Yes.
You get hearing?
Yes, I get all the
All the
senses.
senses? Okay. So you would have heard a conversation from that room.
Oh, well, then in that case, I hold on a second. What are they saying?
It sounds like they're discussing the absurdity of the amount of money you guys have.
How'd they get the money out?
The bag of holding?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Is there a gap underneath the door that my familiar can look through?
Yeah, there's like about an inch, so if you had him hop down to the floor, because he's still within range to give commands to. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, he could get down there and look in.
Okay. I just appear in the room then, casting Misty Step.
Okie doke.
To just a location I can see. So if I can see inside the room,
Through the
Ooh.
familiar. Yep.
yep, there I am. Just suddenly in front of them.
Are you trying to be close to the door, the middle of the room? You could, I mean, through the crack in the
I'm
floor.
appearing next to my bag.
Okay. Well, it was on a table surrounded by 6 people.
I just appear there. Poof.
Silvercloak is amongst them. And he goes, "Ah,
Oh,
fun
so
little bag you have."
that's where it wandered off to, and I just pick it up off the table.
All of its contents are on the table.
The table is crushed. That's 400 pounds of stuff.
It looks pretty fine.
Okay.
It looks like a really sturdy oak table. Like it didn't have any issue with 400 pounds of stuff being dumped
Okay,
on it.
you're implying somewhat rickety. That's why I'm like, 400
no,
pounds
no.
of stuff. It just got crushed.
No, this is like a fairly nice table. It's also fairly large too. Like it's a 4 foot by 6 foot table, and there's a bunch of guys in
Mhm.
here.
Uh-huh.
Half a dozen, including Silvercloak, and he goes, "Ah, the wizard is awakened. Hello.
Greetings.
You are one slippery individual. You know that.
I do.
I have never had so much fun quarrying a prey as you."
Well, you should have let me finish my spell. It would have been even more interesting.
It's the table of tabling plus 1. Yes,
Uh-huh.
the table is
By the way,
glowing with a magic aura.
I'm just like casually, it's like, okay, I'm like picking up the very much individual stuff, just shoving it back in the bag, unless they're going to physically start trying to stop me.
Yeah, they would arrest your movement. They let you pick the bag up, but as soon as you started going for the stuff, they would kind of grab you and grapple you. So if you're resisting, then it would
No.
pass you.
If they're indicating not to,
Yeah,
then
they're not aggressive. They're not like hurting you. They're just like, hey, grab the wrist, kind of.
okay.
Who are you?
Alar.
Well, hey there. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he gives you a very formal, noble bow. Like you would recognize this from your work in archaeology as something that is relatively like old blood nobility bowing, like a respect curtsy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have deduced. And he waggles his cloak again. Since we met already, and I already told you, I am Silvercloak. Welcome to my camp. You missed the play, you know that?
I did not.
I mean, for the most part, you did.
No, I meant I did not. I just say I did not, as if to answer either question in an awkward way. A verbal gambit, if you will.
I got you. I am Silvercloak, and you missed the play. I did not.
That's not what he said. He said, "Did you know you missed the play?" And I said, "I did not," which could be taken to
gotcha.
be
Okay.
either a contradiction or a statement that I did, or a confirmation that I did in fact not know.
Okay. Yep. Lexicon ambiguity there. Fuck. But anyway, and he's like, well, it is one of my favorites. Next time you're coming through, I'll have to show it to you. Although I'm sure you could catch him in some big city. Kind of just waves his hand. But now as for this, and he gestures at the table. Why do you have a barrel full of dirt with a dead baby?
Wait, you took that out? And I immediately tell, and I'm just got like this horrified look on my face. Like, do you have any idea what that is?
Well, our wizard looked at it and said, it's a baby in a bunch of dirt in a barrel.
Okay, it needs to go back in right now. And I'm looking for the barrel. Where is the barrel?
It's sitting on the table. You would notice, and as you know how the bag of holding works, I'm assuming you have not pulled that out since the village.
I
Or
have
have you?
not.
Okay, you have not. This is the first time you've seen it since you put it in there. There are no plants. the plant you were trying to grow did not survive.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, he does not look alarmed by your attempt to make it alarming.
I'm reaching for the barrel. Are they stopping me? Like, forget the
Yes.
gems and the gold. I'm reaching for the barrel of dirt with a baby inside of it.
Yes, they're resisting your movement. They're grabbing your wrist and keeping you from reaching out again.
I'm back.
So you are aware that that is a totem that likely can be used by a demon to reappear here, yes? And that keeping it in an extra dimensional space is a good idea, yes? Perhaps we should put it away so we can continue talking without the threat of, doom upon us?
Well, that is reasonable. Let him go, boys.
Thank you. And I put it back in the bag.
Yeah,
Now
when
then,
you
did
touch it, it feels very mundane.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
So
now
is
as for
there
the-
anything else odd or unusual that you pulled out of a wizard's bag without, taking precautions? The room is not well sealed nor magically isolated.
I mean, I don't know everything that you had in there, but in terms
Well,
of all the
there-
stuff that I do know about,
So let's see. There is a
then you
340.
had all the platinum in there.
Yeah, platinum, gold, bag of spices, collapsible cooking stove, 2 eternal coals, the travel pass, a map, 7 chaos wyvern scales, condor ranger's emblem, probably 150 diamonds of various sizes, an 800-year-old wax seal, the dented steel mirror, weathered deck of cards, charcoal sketch, old ledger, old religious text over 3,000 years old, 3 steel adamantine alloy daggers, 12 small knives of the same material, 1 book about cooking from the Home for the Masses that we found, journal from a worker, a letter from Yarthel, 5 pieces of enchanted paper, 3 bottles of whiskey, an hourglass, magical, mirror, magical, 19 bits of sap-infused heartwood, spell scrolls of primordial ward and anti-life shell, a druidic codex. Let's see, some diamond dust, a scroll of preservation, acid-resistant spider chitin. Oh wait, nope, that's in. Sorry, that shouldn't be there.
That's in the
That is
wagon.
that is in the wagon. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, they already
druidic,
inventoried your wagon.
Yep, druidic idol. Small 3-inch cube of solid wood, a small carving shaped like a chicken, various bits of gnomish candy. Let's see, 2 gold rings, 3 religious pendants.
So the candy, I'll do that one because that would just be social. He would know Fizwick.
Okay.
So he's like, oh yeah, we know Fizwick. He makes some of our candy.
Yeah. Let's see, various bits of like miscellaneous art objects, small like dice sets of ivory, dice set of silver.
Yeah. So
let's see.
the mirror, the mirror mnemonic whisper, the mirror mnemonic memories, he would point out as an interesting trinket. The hourglass they didn't meddle with. So in terms of all the wizardy shit, they would have kind of just put that over to one side of the table with the magic shit.
Mhm.
And then the biggest thing that he's looking at all of the platinum bars stacked up, going,
Uh-huh.
I have never met somebody to carry this much wealth on them. And
Really?
as an honest thief, I could not take all of it respectfully. So here's the deal. I'll take a third.
You'll never know, Bates.
And that is my offer. It is not one that is up for negotiation, but the rest of your things are yours. Also, when you were originally given the bag of holding, did you keep that travel document somewhere else? Is that in like your backpack?
It was originally in there, but I put it in the bag later on because we didn't need it.
So that was in the bag of holding.
Yeah, all the documentary stuff was kept in the bag of holding. Keeps it safe.
So then he would also make a comment about that. And so if that was present, then he would not have said the about your wealth or anything like that. He would have had that document in his hand. Because you've been staring at the iconography of that document pretty much the entire time you've been sneaking around this camp. It's the Raven Branch Trading Company.
Okay, yeah.
And he holds this up and he looks at you and says, I greatly apologize for this misunderstanding. Had I known you worked for Levi Lexington, I would have never stopped you.
I don't make it a habit to advertise whom I'm doing jobs for.
It all depends on the circles we travel in. But that is one name I know carries weight everywhere. But please, forgive me for the misunderstanding. And let us help you get your things back together. So, traveling through the endless woods at night is precarious even for us. But the morning we will make sure you safely get back to the road.
Very well.
So yeah, they help you put all your shit back in the bag.
Mhm.
And, escort you out. And then take you over to the cabin where you woke up. Let you know you're welcome to sleep here, and they'll make sure you get back to the road in the morning, no problem. Does anybody do anything else?
I would ask him, would he mind terribly
Mhm.
if I actually finished casting that spell on his roof?
What spell were you casting?
Alarm.
To what end?
For the lull.
Psychological disruption in warfare. I point to all the various bits of paper and text documents and stuff. It's like, I've had a lot of time to read.
And what, pray tell, are you alarming against?
My familiar, of course. Merely as a
So,
demonstration.
okay, above table. So, above table.
Above
You want to
table-
cast alarm on his house and then have your familiar just fucking fly through it nonstop.
No.
Oh,
Not
okay.
nonstop.
Then I'm misunderstanding what you're
Once every
intending.
45 minutes, so as to completely disrupt their ability to have a long rest. The familiar does not need to sleep.
Uh-huh. Well, as amusing as that would be, I would prefer not.
I figured as much. But I thought you
Please.
might find it amusing.
Oh, very. He has a big smile on his face when you finally explain what your intent was.
As I said, the fire was less disruptive than I had hoped, and so I sought other means.
Well, for those of us that live in the woods and homes made of wood with fire and children, you must take precautions. We
Certainly.
have gotten quite good at dealing with that problem.
Yeah, we found this great mineral. It's called asbestos.
Well, the funny thing is, the dwarves are fucking poison resistant, so I can totally see them building like full asbestos homes, like in setting. Actually, I'm gonna make that canon. It's fucking poisonous to everybody else to live in, but the dwarves love it because it's nice and warm. Anyway, so yeah, he politely declines your entertaining offer, and brings you guys back over to the cabin. And again, you're left unguarded, and
Mhm.
they go back to the central building, and this would be where long rest would resume.
Right. So I guess I just spend the remaining 4 hours of it scribing a scroll, since that potion's still in effect.
You don't need to sleep. Mhm. Yeah, and so morning comes. Alar drank an energy drink and didn't need to sleep, and everybody else has successfully had a long rest.
Oh, that's the great thing about that potion. I still get a long rest. I just don't have to sleep during it.
Yeah. Everybody else that slept through their long rest. You scribed through it.
That feels good.
Yeah.
And I just check make sure all the carriages haven't been set on fire or anything. Everything's still.
No, our
No,
stuff would be
Samuel's
the
still
last
asleep
stuff.
when you wake up.
Our stuff would be the last thing I would burn down.
I'm
No,
just
I think you were
making
saying
sure.
if Silvercloak's men set your shit on fire in response to you setting their shit on fire.
No, I just in general, a fire. I don't care who said it. I'm just making sure everything's all together.
It's really funny that the firebug is the most concerned about other people setting fires.
No, that's
Yeah,
sensible. He's the most experienced with the concept.
exactly.
That
Yeah.
is true, actually. Yeah.
Gimmick theft is no joke.
Ugh. All right. But yeah, you guys wake up. Dozen or so men kind of make their way towards you. Again, mixed races. There's no, unified race. It's just homogenous.
Mhm.
Or non-homogenous, as the entirety of my setting is. But they come over with Silvercloak in the morning and greet you and ask you if you, like, jokingly almost, if you want to join them for breakfast, because they know you don't have a choice.
I do have a choice. We have nibbles.
Well, I mean, from his perspective, he's inviting you to join him for breakfast.
Right. And I say yes.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys sit down for breakfast, and there's cream cakes and eggs and other things, multiple choice breakfast buffet of sorts going on.
Yeah, I eat a nice, respectable breakfast, making polite small talk.
Yeah. And Silvercloak, since he hasn't had a chance to talk to you, Alar, seems to primarily be focused on you, asking about your background, where you're from. Although he does seem to be more reserved than he was last night with the rest of the party, and the rest of the party would notice this. He's a little more controlled with his questions. He's asking Alar. He's asking very broad, simple questions. Where with you guys, he was being a little more pointed.
And I fill him in my, general background. Nothing specific, but things like what I did before adventuring, my focuses in archaeology and the ancient world, and hence, the arcane.
Ah, wow. If you're ever in this neck of the woods with some free time, I could always show you. Oh, what was the name of those rooms? Realm. And he would go on talking about the the runes of the kingdom once known as Cyron. And you'd be familiar with this kingdom because it's typically closer to the road than most of the other, the untouched runes. And you're pretty sure he is um, talking about somewhere you've been already. And it's interesting architecture, but otherwise pretty uninteresting in terms of like what you're actually after research wise. There's a lot of cool buildings, but that's about it. The place is picked
Right.
clean.
Yeah, nothing in the
Yeah.
arcane side of things.
Hmm.
And I do agree with him that it is an interesting and nice set of ruins, though not quite where my academic interests lie. More or less due to any bits of arcane lore having long since been excavated already.
The funny thing about magic in this world, it's everywhere and nowhere.
Are you implying that you know of some hidden arcane lore in these ruins?
No, what he's saying is like just the general knowledge of magic. It's wide,
Yes, but
but
that's
not.
what I say when he expresses that.
Oh,
I ask him
oh no,
directly.
just the common understanding of magic being so simple-minded.
Ah, fair enough. Well,
What? You have any more questions for him?
no.
All right. Yeah. Breakfast concludes, and sociable and everything like that. And those 12 men that came kind of check your guys' carriages and wagons over in the morning with Lizar's help. Um, begin, kind of moving their way towards you, and Silvercloak steps towards you guys, tin cup of coffee in his hand. Well, seems I misjudged you folks a bit. I know in your connections I might have handled things differently, and I do apologize.
Well, no permanent harm was done, I believe, on either side, so no hard feelings.
And then
Agreed.
inside his cloak, he pulls out and hands Alaric actually a silver whistle in the shape of a feather. Here.
I take it.
Yep. And you do sense a Dwemer of magic on it, although it does feel like faint and simple. Doesn't feel very complex. If you ever need assistance on the copper while you're in the Badlands, blow this. My men will come. Though, and he looks at Samuel. Honestly, I doubt you'll be calling for help in a fight.
I know, but the gesture is appreciated, and I mean, you never know. Could be separated or something, something like that. So always appreciative.
Yep. And he, kind of gestures to the edge of camp. Free to go. My men will see you safely back to the road.
All right, well, I no nod to them, and I get one of the carriages ready.
Yeah, they've all been made ready. They're
All right,
they're
well,
just
I
waiting
get
for
on one
drivers,
of them, and
basically.
yeah.
Yep.
As we're about to leave, I do turn to Silvercloak and proffer a scroll to him, saying that if you're going to continue poking at bits of arcana that you may or may not be fully cognizant of, you may find this useful in the future. Take it as a gesture of my goodwill, and that I was not lying when I said that there are no hard feelings.
Well, I much appreciate the gift. And he accepts it.
Mhm.
And he kind of looks at it. I'm guessing it's identify.
No, it's a scroll of remove curse.
Ah, handy. He looks at it and goes, ah, handy, and rolls it back up. And then, without producing a whistle, he makes a whistle about as sharp and as loud as the other ones. and he does a long burst and a short burst, and somebody comes out of the cedar schlacked roof building over to him. It looks fit. You know, you're familiar with him from the room last night, but he looks more like wizardly. Hey, Boris. This is our friend Alar. I think you'll find it most handy. And he takes it, looks at it. Ah, handy. Then turns around and goes away.
And then we leave.
Yep. Yep. And the forest opens before you as the Silvercloak's men are look like they're just walking. They don't look like they're holding any sort of compass or device that's indicating how they're navigating. But you can definitely tell they're changing directions constantly. And if you were looking at it top down, you'd almost say they were walking through a maze. But they've crossed over their own path several times at this point. But about an hour and a half passes, and you guys end up back on the road whence you left.
Neat.
And Silvercloak's men. Well, fair travels, fellows. And they disappear into the woods.
I wave after them and then focus back on the road.
And that is where we'll call it. Once again, you guys are back on the Copper Road.